Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be talking about redesigning my original very first own character that I made when I was probably about 10 or 11. This was when I used to want to be an author, and I actually had a Wattpad where I wrote this story out. Please don't look it up because it's probably awful. But yeah, I used to redraw this character a lot, so drawing it now is going to be really, really fun. So there's actually a lot of aspects of this character that I decided to change just because I feel like when I made this character as a child, I didn't really, understand a lot of the things that this character might be going through, and I kind of just reiterated mostly everything I had seen on TV and stuff into this character. I believe when I was this age, I was really getting into fantasy shows like Merlin, and I think I started watching Doctor Who around this time as well. Maybe it was a little bit before. But I was also a big fan of Taylor Swift, so I kind of named my character after Taylor Swift, and I decided that, no, I didn't want to do that anymore, so I ended up changing her name, and I like her name a lot better now. So before I had named her Taylor Tempt, and I don't really understand why I picked that last name. I think I saw a sticker that said Tempted on it, and I was like, that's really cool, but that's not really a last name. So I ended up taking the ED off and just named her last name Tempt, which is actually pretty weird. So that's why I decided to change it to Carmen Belmont, which sounds way cooler. And there's actually a backstory to her name now, which is because she is the only heir to the throne, and the king wanted to have a son instead of a daughter, but he was stuck with Carmen because the queen ends up dying not too long after she is born, falling victim to the villain of the story, which is this evil wizard named Saran. So I originally made Carmen pretty young, older when I made her up, but she is 16, and I decided to make her ethnicity more of Hispanic just because before when I made this story she didn't really have an ethnicity, I just kind of made all my characters not really thinking about that. And we already talked about her background, which is being a princess, but she is also known for being a warrior and training with a lot of the knights throughout the kingdom. That is why I gave her more of a soldier-like look, because she is just used to being in more of an environment of being physically trained and hanging out more with the knights and not really doing a lot of what a normal princess would be doing. And I remember I chose her weapon of choice as a bow and arrow when I first made her character, just because I thought it was really cool, but I guess now I would say that her weapon of choice is a bow and arrow, just to show more of how strong and huntress-like she is, because handling a bow and arrow is not something that's easy to do. Pulling back that string takes a lot of physical strength. And I also gave her little daggers on the side just because, to show that she is always prepared for what's next, being someone who is trained to be in any fight. And I decided to keep her original brown hair, but I decided to make it a little darker. I changed her eyes from blue to pink because I just thought it would be a lot cooler, and she does live in a fantasy world, so regular eye colors don't really, have to apply. She is more physically active and toned, so I try to show that in the drawings. Now just to talk a little more about her background. We have already explained that she is a princess that has grown up in a world with war, and she has really just watched a lot of people die, lose their families and their homes, and when she was little, she just always thought she couldn't really do anything about it until she was a lot older and decides to train with the knights so that she is able to help the kingdom that she's grown up in. And I made her character very headstrong, with strong ideals, strong morals, and just a really strong personality in general. She's not afraid to stand up for something when she knows that it's wrong. But she's also really good at putting on a front and acting like she's stronger than she really is, because she knows that one day she's going to have to rule the kingdom and she's going to have to show that she can do it. Now, before I get more into her story, I just want to talk a little bit about the world that she lives in. So basically in this world there are 6 different realms, and basically each realm has its own season. So there is a fall realm, a winter realm, a spring realm, and a summer realm. Carmen is from the spring realm, and that's partly why I decided to make her eyes pink, because in her realm there's just constantly flowers blooming. So her pink eyes kind of show that she is royalty. What people don't really know though is that there is also a dark realm and a light realm. In this world, the dark realm and the light realm haven't really been too far looked into because people are afraid of it. But the dark wizard Saran decides to explore the dark realm, and he is consumed by the black magic that is hidden in that realm. And with this dark magic and everything, he finds a way to be immortal and godlike. And so Saran is trying to take over all the realms, and so far he has taken over the winter realm and part of the fall realm. And eventually his goal is to completely destroy the light realm, where there is magic that can defeat him. So now that you know more about the world that Carmen lives in, let's talk more about what she goes through in the story I had made up for her. Okay, so Carmen's story starts out when she decides to run away from the kingdom in hopes to find the one sword that can defeat the Dark Wizard. The only problem for her is that she's never been outside of her realm, so traveling to all the other realms in search of this sword is going to be a bit difficult for her. Even though she is a highly trained fighter, she hasn't really experienced life outside of the castle before. So pretty soon, in the first village that she travels to, people realize that she is of royalty. And there are actually troops from Saran's army that catch her and kidnap her pretty much. And in fact, it is one of the most highly ranked troops from Saran's army. Saran's adopted son is there, and he is the second main character of this story. His name is Steven. You might have seen him in the drawings that I showed in the beginning of the video. So Steven ends up befriending Carmen, and they escape the other troops, and Steven helps her on her quest to find the sword. And that was always pretty much how far I got with the story. I really never developed it a lot more, mostly because I'm not the best writer. But I think I can really develop this story into a webcomic. But for now, it's still in the works. Alright, so here is all the works of Carmen that I did together. I really think I developed a lot of her character throughout this process, which was really cool. It was really fun looking back on an old character that I really hadn't thought about for so many years. And I really just wanted to compare her to the original drawing that I did when I was about 10, because I really wanted to show how much character development that she has had through this process of redrawing her. Alright, and so we've reached the end of the video. Please let me know if you'd like to know more about this story. Maybe I can do more videos on it. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed the content, and be sure to subscribe to my channel if you want to see more drawings and art-based things from me. I hope you guys have a lovely rest of your day. Stay safe out there, make sure you wear a mask, keep your hands sanitized, and just have a lovely day. Okay, goodbye!